So in one of my previous videos, I referenced the verse where it says, "Delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart." It's from the Psalms. And that verse actually has two different meanings. It might even have more meanings, but I'm aware of two meanings. So the first, I guess, most instant, understanding that comes to people is, if you delight yourself in the Lord, in other words, if you enjoy God, if you serve him, worship him, enjoy him, he will give you the desires of your heart. In other words, whatever you want, he'll give you, as long as it's good and not something bad for you, right? That's usually the way most people sort of understand it at first reading, at first glance. But as I was I started to experience something that was happening, a few years ago when I just had a lot of alone time with God and I was just spending time with God. I started to notice that there was less and less of a distinction between my desires and God's desires. In other words, like for my life, I started to notice that I would start to desire something and I'm like, where is this desire coming from? And it was a good godly thing that was helping to direct my life, but it was just coming out of nowhere. And I started to realize it was out of my union with him. The Bible says that, we are one spirit. Those who are joined to the Lord are one spirit with him. And, we are united, through Jesus with God. And so therefore, if we're one with God, we can start to feel his desires for us. And when I started noticing this happening, I realized, wow, that verse actually explains this. So not only does God give you what you want, which is I guess a lesser, I think it's a lesser revelation or a lesser power, whereas the greater explanation is, as you delight yourself in the Lord, as you enjoy God, fellowship with him in your everyday life, he starts to give you the desires that are in your heart. So it's not like God is a genie and just grants you every wish. It's actually that when you start to enjoy him, meditate on him, enjoy fellowship with God, you start to get desires in your heart that are given to you by God. Delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. In other words, he transplants desires into your heart that are from him. And so it becomes a really joyous thing, because it's no longer like, oh, is this God or is this me? It's like we are one. And as you delight yourself in God, he starts to lead your life and you follow the desires he places in your heart. And it's just exciting and cool. And there might be even more understanding and revelation on those verses, but just thought I'd share that.